Consideration of one's own culture does not require contempt or disrespect for other cultures.
A lot of us think that by doing one culture it kind of discriminates against another, but it's really keeping one's own culture and also taking into consideration of another one.
If you use violence, you are no longer the master of your struggle.
The highest form of freedom carries with it the greatest measure of discipline. What this means to me is, in order to get the things you want, you have to have discipline in order to earn it.
If a leader cannot give his all, then he cannot expect his people to give anything.
That is important to me because as a leader, you have to give something to get something in return.
To be a man is to suffer for others. If you want to be a man, then you got to put other people's feelings before yours.
If you're not trying, then you might feel you'll never do the job. If you're trying, you'll work like crazy.
Fear is not always bad. It makes you aware of your surroundings.
It is how we use our lives that determine what kind of men we are.
When any person suffers for someone in greater need, that person is a human.
This quote is very important to me because everyone needs to make sacrifices for their family and someone they love.
In order to help someone out, you need to sacrifice something.
Nonviolence, which is a quality of the heart, cannot come from an appeal of the brain.
If a leader cannot give his all, then he cannot expect his people to give anything.
Do not romanticize the poor. Our poverty damages our dignity.
What that means to me is that Latinos work hard for their dignity and for themselves.
To be a man is to suffer for others.
There is no such thing as defeat in nonviolence.
You are never strong enough that you don't need help, Cesar Chavez.
When we are really honest with ourselves, we must admit our lives are all that really belong to us. So it is how we use our lives that determine the kind of men we are.
Organizing is an educational process. You learn about life.
Students must have initiative, not mere imitators. They must learn to think and act for themselves and be free.
Our language is a reflection of ourselves.
Language is an exact reflection of the character and growth of its speakers.
We draw our strength from every despair in which we are forced to live.
We draw our strength from the very despair in which we are forced to live. That is important to me because in order to get out of your situation, you have to grow stronger.
Our language is a reflection of ourselves, an exact reflection of character. What this means to me is that our culture represents who we are.
You're invited to Latino night.
It's in the Parker cafeteria.
Thursday, April 25th, from 6 to 8 p.m.
Bring a dish pass.
Music, fun, and camaraderie. Hope to see